The Texas State baseball team faces Southeastern Louisiana tomorrow night in San Marcos, the first of a three-game series between the two. The teams are both 10-5 in league play and will be battling for the first place in the Southland Conference. Thursday's game will be the second of a six-game homestand for the Bobcats. The first game was played last night as Texas State trounced the Houston Baptist Huskies 18-4. The Bobcats controlled the entire game with 17 hits and 2 three-run home runs.
Should state universities in Texas allow guns to be carried onto their campuses? That is the question that was presented to some state lawmakers Monday. Lisa Freeman has more in this Bobcat Update.
State lawmakers are considering a bill that would give people the right to carry a concealed handgun on campuses if they are licensed. ASG has already turned down a bill that would allow students to bring their handguns on here to campus. Since the bill was turned down at Texas State, it now heads to the state legislature, and students at Texas State are having mixed emotions about it.
They passed the test to get their concealed handgun license. Why stop them from carrying it on campus? It's another place that they feel like they need to be protected. They feel like they need it, might as well have it.
Bob Mann, a journalism and mass communication lecturer, strongly disagrees with the proposal.
I'm opposed to it. I suspect that the majority of violence in this country occurs among probably people between 17 and 25.
The representative who wrote the legislation, Republican Joe Driver, says he believes a committee vote might come as early as next week. Representative Driver says he has 70 House members signed on at this point, but it would require 76 to pass in the House. 12 of 31 senators have indicated that they will support the bill. For Bobcat Update, I'm Lisa Freeman.
Texas senators passed legislation yesterday to end automatic entry for students who graduate in the top 10% of their class. The legislation would cap automatic admissions under the 10% rule to 60% of the incoming freshman class. The reform answers the calls of the University of Texas capacity and acceptance problems created by the top 10 policy. More than 80% of the freshmen accepted by the University of Texas last year were admitted under the top 10 rule. Under the bill, universities would be able to accept more students based on personal achievements, leadership, and test scores.
The Texas State men's basketball team will be playing in the Southland Conference tournament for the first time in 4 years. Ben Wempe has more in this Bobcat Update.
8 teams are headed for the conference tourney, and Texas State is one of them.
You know, we just barely got in the 7th spot, so I mean, we want to try to upset some teams and see how far we can go. Hopefully get in the NCAA tournament.
The Bobcats will play at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas as the 7th-seeded team. They'll play number 2 seed Nicholls State tomorrow at noon. The Bobcats beat the Colonels in overtime in Strahan Coliseum earlier this year.
But we're just taking one game at a time and see where we get.
If the Bobcats prevail in the first-round matchup, they'll play the winner of the Sam Houston UTSA game Friday night. The championship game will be held on March 15th in the afternoon. The winner receives an automatic bid to play in the NCAA tournament.
Tickets are available at the Texas State ticket office, and students get in free with a valid Texas State ID card. Ben Wempe, Bobcat Update.
Texas State dormitory residents are refilling their wallets this week. University President Denise Trouth approved a refund to all the residents affected by the week-long hot water outage earlier this month. The refunds amount to 1 week of monthly dorm room rates and vary by residence hall. 14 of the university's 18 dorms were affected by the outage. Texas State representatives said more than $2 million has been spent on 2 new water boilers, and both should be up and running by May.